nothing like taking a shock off, being completely bent over, and as uncomfortable as you can possibly ever get. All right, and like usual, I'm just going to go ahead and assume that for whatever reason, with the way my luck is, every single part I ever get won't have any sort of hardware that goes along with it. So I'll play it safe and make sure I put everything right back on there. All right, now we can go ahead and there we go. One down, one to go. Well, hey, come here. Huh? Let everybody know I got some real help. Come here. Come say hi. Hi. Come here. Come look at the camera. Look. Over here. Hi. Come over here, crazy. Look. All right. We got us some expert help now, so hi. We're doing good. All right. You going to help me?
Yeah, with this.
With that one?
Yeah. I'm going there.
Yeah. Oh, all right, guys. So, got both those bolts out and got that upper control arm out. It's sitting right there. Still attached to the spindle, but that's okay. So, we're gonna go ahead and keep on working. And I'm gonna go ahead and finish getting the rest of this taken apart. And then once I do that, I'll jump back up with y'all and let you know what we got done. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side off camera, since there's really no point in y'all watching me do both sides. So, be back in a second. I think I'm just gonna go like this, nip these off. I don't know why I didn't do this like this the last time. You know, I guess sometimes you just get a little bit too close to a project and forget to take a step back and determine the easiest way to get something done. And I'm pretty much guilty of doing that all the time. So that's why usually these 5-minute projects turn into a 3-hour endeavor. And that just broke off. That's great. But considering the fact that it's terrible weather conditions to be doing this, and I'm all wet, I'd say everything's going fine. These little bent needle nose are like the single greatest thing I think I've ever used. All right, guys, sorry about that. The little one is going to her grandmother's for the day, so had to go send her off. You know, I really envy anyone who can look at something and just know right away what size it is, because I apparently do not have that ability. All right, let's give each of these a little tap. Great. Just great. Oh, I really don't want to do that. That's going to get replaced anyway, so. Goodness, that does not want to come off. Ah, lovely. Lovely. Why won't you come off? Maybe because this one, like like I said, there's probably a right way to take all this off in order so that everything kind of just nicely and easily disconnects, but I never seem to do things the right way, so I figure if you're going to be anything, be consistent. You get a wireless mic. All right. So this is perfect because this is right in the way. Just, that's great. Okay. There we go. Getting these cotter pins out can really just be the biggest pain in the butt I think anybody could ever experience, especially when they're nice and rusty. Great. Just great. Nope. Nope. Okay. Let's see what's perfect. So let's zip that off. Maybe with a little bit of luck. Get out. Yeah. Of course not. These are so difficult to get out. There's got to be a trick to this that I just don't know about. I'm sure there is. I'm 100% positive there's a trick to this. I just don't know what that trick is. So, like I said, I'm just going to keep taking things apart because it all has to be replaced anyways. Oh man. There we go. Still nothing? Man. This is when experience would really come in handy. Something that I'm severely lacking on this A body. But we're gonna go ahead and take an accuracy by volume approach and just, you know, continue to take anything and everything that we see off. Because it's a scientific fact, if you take enough parts off, the rest is just gonna fall apart. Oh man, that's... You all right over there? All right. Nothing like having the bolt and the nut size being different. That's great. Now something tells me that when I loosen up this torsion bar all the way, it's probably going to do something I don't want it to do. So that's just exactly what I need. Come on. Sometimes when nothing's going right, you just gotta take a step back and remember everything that you've ever done well. In my case, that's a really short list, so it doesn't take long. Well, that's just great. Great. Just great. Somehow I bent this bolt. Like I said, there's probably a right way of disassembling this. And with how things have gone so far, I am now fully convinced that I am not doing this the right way. But that's fine. Well, this is how much I've gotten done on this side. I'm going to go ahead and kick on over to the driver's side and get it to this same level. I'm not certain if I'm going to disassemble any more of that. Everything appears to be in good working order. And I think what makes the most sense is just to clean it up and paint it and just continue on. Because at this point, I don't see the point in spending hours trying to get this off. What all I'm going to do is clean it up and paint it and put it right back on. So we're just going to clean it up, kick on over to the other side, get it to this level, and then we're going to go ahead and get this rear axle taken down. So I'm going to go ahead and get all this work done real quick off camera, and then I will jump back up with y'all whenever it is time to disconnect the rear. All right guys, so as you can see, I finally got all of the driver's side done. And I got a couple more parts taken off while I was off camera, just because it was just too difficult to get to these while filming. But I got both of those off. Now, the driver's side one of these, I'm just throwing everything in the trunk for the time being. But the driver's side one, I do not have a socket big enough to get up in on that guy right there. So I really don't want to strip it, so until I can get a socket that will fit on there and use the breaker bar because it's on ungodly tight, I'm going to just kick on over to the rear end and we are going to get all of this dropped down and disconnected. But first, I'm going to go eat some lunch because my stomach is screaming at me. So, be back in a minute. All right, everyone. I just had myself a delicious, lightly toasted sandwich for lunch. And if you're looking at this, you're probably thinking to yourself, this slimy bag of burnt onions done took off the drive shaft and didn't say nothing to nobody. Well, that is not the case. I absolutely did not take anything off camera without saying anything to anyone. But what did happen was that I bought a car that doesn't have a drive shaft. Because as you may remember, I said that when I went and looked at it, it was pouring down rain and the weather was really bad. So, this just keeps getting better and better. And I'm pretty sure I can see daylight. Yep, if you look closely. Oh yeah, there's supposed to be a bolt right there. So that's lovely. I just keep finding so many just little hidden gems. But anyways, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get all this taken off by zipping those guys right there off. So I'm gonna be right back after I get a little bit of work done, and I'll join back up with y'all. Be right back. All right, everyone, finally got that rear end out. So what was happening was I hadn't picked the rear end up. There's Mo. I didn't quite pick the rear end up high enough. And for all you safety freaks, you can clearly see that. Just a little sidebar. I have jack stands and I have backup just in case things go south in a hurry. But anyways, what was happening was I didn't have the rear up high enough, and as I was trying to pull the rear axle out, it was just on the inside of the tire, the outside of the tire right here was rubbing on the inside of the fender. So that's all right, we finally got it out. I'm going to go ahead and take her on over to the old shop right there. And then I feel a little bad because I told y'all last episode that I was gonna do some wrenching on the engine. So what I'm gonna do is, as to not make myself a liar, we'll take a couple parts off of the front end here, and that makes me in y'all's good graces, hopefully. So a lot of good progress today. I'm gonna go move this rear axle, and then I'll be right back with y'all. All right, guys, well, what we're gonna do is, like I said, I wanted to get a couple more parts of this off since I'm already out here and it's uncovered. So what I did was earlier when I was taking the old PB Blaster and spraying everything, I went ahead and hit a couple of these just in case I had the time to go ahead and get these taken off. So that's way too big. So if I can find the right size here, hopefully it's no smaller than a ½ inch. Of course, great. Metric it is. Only because I'm too lazy to get. Oh, are you kidding me? Why does it always skip 11? Always skips 11. All right. When all else fails, crescent wrench. Anyways, as I was saying, I went ahead and sprayed all these, and what I'm going to do is get this off, and there's a bracket up front here that I'm going to get off because I'm not keeping any of these air conditioning parts. I want the entire engine bay to be as clean and well dressed as possible. So the fact that it has power steering, you know, as you know, already takes up this whole driver's side inside of here. So I don't know. The purists are going to get upset because they're going to say, it's an AC car, put the air conditioning back in it. Well, it's my car, it's not your car. And air conditioning is for sissies, so we're going to go ahead and get these off of here. And then once I get them off, I will join back up with y'all and let you know what all we've gotten done. And then I think at this point, I think that after I get a few of these parts off, I'm just going to clean everything up, all my tools, and get my parts taken down to the shed. Call it a day. So, I'll be right back. Well, there you have it, everyone. Got a lot of that stuff out. Got that bracket out. Got that condenser or evaporator, whatever that thing is called. That's gone. And got the brake booster out of there. So the only thing I got left to do is get that bracket off, but I figured it would just be easier just to disconnect it from the front real quick and then also disconnect that. But got some wires pulled out of the way and got the power steering disconnected. As you can see, there's all of our parts. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up for today. As you can probably tell by the light, I'm quickly running out of it. So until next week, see you then.